Okay, I'm back. I dried it off a little bit. Now I'm gonna, says, well, it says paint black circles. I did that. And then I want to see if I could paint some metallic circles. The black paint is not fully dry. There's a little bubble. So it looks funky. I have no idea what I'm doing. You probably don't either. I'm just trying to just go with it. I don't know, this might not be my $1 million picture or piece of artwork. You never know, it could lead to that $1 million. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, not even sure what I'm doing. This little geometric stencil, I'm seeing flowers. Or leaves. So I'm just trying to go around a little bit, emphasize those leaves that I see. You know, I follow Tracy Weinzapfel on Ustream, and she does flowers, and I've always done little tiny doodle flowers. I've always done them like when I was supposed to be listening in class, and when I went on conference calls. If you ever saw my notes, my pages would be covered with flower doodles, but I made them really miniature, and it's very hard for me to translate that into bigger flowers, especially when I'm using a big piece of paper like this. And my mom was telling me that was probably the hardest thing when she took art classes, that the teacher would constantly request the class to go bigger with bigger canvases, and it was really hard to go from a tiny canvas to a really large canvas and filling the white space, because the white space was so overwhelming. But she said once they practiced and just, you know, stepped away from, you know, the judgment that you have, or that I can't do it, that you will eventually be able to do it. So I need to find a way and just practice with my tiny little doodle flowers. And I have a hard time doing that with paint because they're, let's see. So I have like a little circle, and I have them like a little swirl that can be translated into leaves. And I'm usually having to turn my paper to trying to do it. And then I will build the flower. I guess it's almost like a poinsettia. and they're always lopsided. And sometimes, see, that's a lot larger than I'm used to even doing. So that's one of my little doodly flowers. Okay. So I guess, let's see what the next card says. Use a sponge or makeup wedge to dab paint in random places. Well, I don't have any sponges right near me. Oh, this is more for art journaling. All right, a lot of these are for art journaling. I'm not sure I want to do that. Okay, so this lady that I follow, Tracy Winesapple, I've watched her for a year now, and I love her flowers. They're like what I will do. So I'm not sure how to come up with my own flower thoughts. But she's one that says to let it go and not be so attached to what it is you're doing. And it's very hard not to be attached. But she'll just start taking the white gesso and just build her flowers. And I'm one that I cannot work upside down. And then you have these weird leaves that make no sense. So this is sort of like one of the flowers I've been doodling for years. And so this is how one of the ways she builds layers is just using the gesso and then she'll paint the colors. And then she always has an odd amount of leaves. That one's mixing in with the metallic marker, so it's kind of funky, a little funky. And then she purposely tries to go off the paper. I don't even think you can see that. just leave that for, and I feel like this is calling for 5 flowers. So then I get to cover up my doodles. And that's another thing that's hard for me to do is with the mixed media is covering up something, because there's some people who go, when I'm watching them on YouTube, it's like, oh, that's gorgeous, but then they cover it up, and that's so scary. But they always make it look pretty good. So I just need to learn how to just let it go and let it not be so attached to what I think I have in my head. Although sometimes I don't think I have anything in my head. Okay, I think I like that so far. What do you think? And then next, I think we'll just go ahead and get color onto these flowers, and we'll have a saying. And so catch me in the next video. See you in a bit.